All right. So, uh, I think it's safe to say anyone listening is probably as fascinated by these miniature horse breeds as I am.
Yeah.
So I thought we could dive right in today.
Okay.
We've got articles and all the good stuff, and even a YouTube video
Oh, fun.
from Gideon Films Top 5
Okay.
called
Okay.
Five Smallest Horse in the World, Five Smallest Horse Breeds.
Yeah.
All about these, pint-sized equines.
Okay.
So today, we're uncovering all the surprising history and the unique traits of these, incredibly small horse breeds.
Yeah, and I think you'll be surprised by how much history and impact is packed into these little guys.
I'm ready to be amazed.
All right.
So the video focuses on 5 specific breeds,
Right?
and we won't be, riding off into the sunset on these horses.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them are too small even for, small children.
Right.
But, these horses have played a variety of roles throughout history, from companionship to pulling small carts.
It's fascinating to consider that, a lot of these small horse breeds developed in really challenging environments, limited resources, and, harsh conditions. Those things often favor
Right.
smaller, more adaptable animals.
Makes sense,
Yeah.
survival of the fittest, the mini edition.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the Gideon Films video counts down the breeds, starting with the 5th smallest
Right.
and working up to the tiniest.
Yep.
Are you ready to meet these mini marvels?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Okay, so number 5 on the list
Right.
is the Falabella. And get this,
Okay.
they're not just small, they're perfectly proportioned miniatures.
Wow.
It's like a regular horse went through a shrink ray.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about how they got so tiny?
Well, the Falabella is a great example of selective breeding.
Right.
This video mentions a family in Argentina,
Oh, okay.
the Falabellas,
Oh, fitting.
are fitting,
Yeah.
who dedicated themselves to, creating this breed.
A family legacy built on tiny horses.
I love it.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The video also mentioned that they used other small breeds,
Right.
like Welsh and Shetland ponies,
Yeah.
and even some small thoroughbreds.
Interesting.
And unlike some other miniature breeds, they can actually breed naturally.
That's right. And their breeding practices are, really key to the Falabella's distinct characteristics.
Yeah.
Not only are they proportionally miniaturized, but they're also known for their gentle temperaments,
Yeah.
making them suitable for, a range of activities with humans.
So from tiny carts
Mhm.
to a child's first riding experience,
Yeah,
it sounds like the perfect mini horse companion.
absolutely.
Speaking of companions, let's move on to number 4,
Okay.
the miniature horse.
All right.
This breed's history sounds like something out of a period drama.
Okay.
They were bred in Europe
Uh-huh.
and kept as pets.
Right.
By the wealthy, of course.
Ah, yes. The miniature horse as a status symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting to consider how the role of horses evolved over time.
Right. While initially, they were primarily work animals,
Right.
they transitioned into symbols of status and companionship.
So from plowing fields to being pampered pets. What a
Well,
shift.
oh, right.
The video even mentioned that some miniature horses worked in coal mines.
Oh, wow.
That seems like a far cry from, the lapdog of the aristocracy.
Indeed. It really highlights the versatility of horses and their ability to adapt to different roles.
Yeah.
Even in, a challenging environment of a coal mine, miniature horses could contribute.
And today you often see them as therapy animals.
Oh, yeah.
Their gentle nature makes them perfect for that kind of work, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. They seem to connect with humans, on an emotional level, providing comfort and support.
Now, moving from the luxurious life of a miniature horse
Okay.
to something a bit more rugged.
All right.
Number 3 on the list is the Shetland pony.
Okay.
And let me tell you, these ponies are tough.
Yeah, they are.
They hail from the Shetland Islands,
Right.
which, as you can imagine, are not known for their mild weather.
Oh, that's right. The Shetland Islands are rugged and unforgiving,
Yeah.
which has definitely shaped the Shetland ponies', incredible resilience.
Yeah.
Think thick coats and sturdy builds.
The video even mentioned that their mane and tail hair was used to make fishing lines.
Wow.
Talk about resourceful.
Yeah.
It seems like their history is really deeply intertwined with the lives of the islanders.
It's a classic example of how certain breeds develop in response to specific environments.
Right.
And the Shetland ponies, hardiness made it essential to life on the islands.
Get this, there was a hefty fine for cutting their hair without permission.
Oh, really?
They were so valuable to the islanders.
That speaks volumes about their importance to the islanders' way of life.
Yeah.
They were more than just animals. They were partners in survival.
And their legacy lives on today.
Yeah.
The Shetland Pony Stud Book Society was formed in 1890.
Oh, wow.
A testament to people recognizing their importance and working to preserve the breed.
It's heartwarming to see that kind of dedication to these animals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let's venture into rare territory with number 2.
Oh.
The Noma pony.
All right.
This breed is native to Japan.
Right.
And unlike many others, it hasn't been influenced by outside breeding.
Yeah.
It's a purebred through and through.
That's right. The Noma pony represents a unique lineage, a living linked to the past.
Yeah.
It's genetically valuable
Right.
because it shows us what a horse breed indigenous to Japan looks like without any outside influence.
It's like a piece of living history.
Exactly.
Sadly, though, the video mentioned that their numbers are extremely low.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Yeah.
They were historically used as pack horses in Japan, but modernization has led to, a decline in their population.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to think of these unique breeds disappearing.
Yeah.
The Noma pony story really highlights the importance of conservation efforts.
Absolutely. Preserving genetic diversity is crucial,
Yeah.
not only for the breeds themselves, but also for, any potential benefits they might hold for the future.
It's like we're losing a piece of history and potentially future solutions with each breed that dwindles.
Right.
Speaking of history and mystery,
Okay.
we've arrived at number 1,
All right.
the smallest horse breed in the world,
Okay.
the Yonaguni horse.
This breed is truly enigmatic.
It is.
It's native to Yonaguni Island,
Right.
part of Okinawa, Japan,
Yeah.
and is even smaller than the Noma pony.
Wow.
And just as endangered, sadly,
Yeah.
with only about 200 remaining.
It's hard to believe that there are so few left.
Yeah.
The video mentioned there's debate about their origins,
Right.
with some believing they came from Korea over 2,000 years ago.
It's incredible to think about, the journeys these horses made and the mysteries that still surround them.
It makes you realize how much we still don't know about the history of these animals.
Yeah.
So we've met all 5 of the smallest horse breeds,
Right.
each with its own, incredible story.
Yeah.
But beyond the cuteness factor,
Oh.
I'm curious to explore some of the broader themes that emerge from their stories.
I agree. I think it's important to look beyond, the individual breeds and consider what their existence tells us about our relationship with horses.
Yeah, one theme that struck me was the sheer adaptability and resilience of horses.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen them thrive in diverse and challenging environments.
Right.
From the rugged Shetland Islands to the remote islands of Japan.
That adaptability is truly remarkable, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is.
They can withstand, a wide range of temperatures, adapt to different terrains,
Right.
and survive on limited resources.
And it's not just natural selection at play, right?
Right.
The video highlighted the role of humans in shaping horse breeds through selective breeding.
Exactly. For centuries, we've been selectively breeding horses to enhance certain traits,
Yeah.
whether it's size, strength, speed, or temperament.
Right.
The Falabella is a prime example of that.
It's fascinating to think about the generations of breeding that went into creating those perfectly proportioned miniatures.
The Falabella family's dedication to their vision really highlights the human element in the story of these breeds.
Yeah.
But with selective breeding, there are always two sides to the coin, wouldn't you agree?
That's a good point. While it can create amazing animals with desirable traits,
Right.
there's also the risk of losing genetic diversity,
Yeah.
which can lead to health problems
Right.
and decreased adaptability down the line.
Precisely. We need to consider the long-term implications of our breeding practices and strive for, a balance between achieving those desirable traits
Right.
and preserving genetic diversity.
That makes me think about the Shetland pony
Yeah.
and the efforts to preserve their bloodlines through this stud book society.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good example of humans recognizing the importance of genetic diversity even back in the 19th century.
It was a forward-thinking move that has undoubtedly helped to protect the breed's health and viability.
And that ties into another theme,
Okay.
the evolving relationship between humans and horses.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago that horses were primarily work animals.
Right.
Now we see them as therapy animals.
Mm-hmm.
Companions even show horses.
It's a fascinating shift, isn't it?
It is.
As societies modernized and industrialized,
Yeah.
the need for horses as work animals declined,
Right.
but our fascination with them didn't disappear.
Instead, it seems like we found new ways to appreciate them for their beauty,
Yeah,
grace, intelligence, and emotional capacity.
exactly. And that appreciation has led to, a whole new set of roles for horses in our lives.
Yeah.
From beasts of burden to partners in therapy and companions in leisure, they continue to enrich our lives in countless ways.
It makes you realize how much our relationship with these animals has changed,
Yeah.
and yet how deep that connection remains.
Right.
But as we've seen with some of these endangered breeds like the Noma pony and the Yonaguni horse,
Yeah.
that connection needs to translate into action.
I couldn't agree more. Their dwindling numbers are a stark reminder that, we need to be proactive in our efforts to protect these vulnerable populations.
So what can we do? We've explored their history, their unique characteristics, and the importance of conservation efforts.
Right.
Where do we go from here?
Well, awareness is a powerful first step.
Okay.
By talking about these issues, sharing information, and supporting conservation organizations, we contribute to a better future for these incredible animals.
It sounds like every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as sharing the Gideon Films Top 5 video with friends
Right.
or donating to a horse rescue organization can make a difference.
Absolutely. And I think it's important for each of us to reflect on which breeds resonated with us most.
Yeah.
Which stories, sparked our curiosity.
Right.
Maybe this deep dive will inspire you to learn more and get involved and make a difference in your own way.
It's a call to action disguised as a deep dive into tiny horses.
Perhaps.
Me?
But it's a call to action that I hope will resonate with our listeners.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get carried away with saving all the tiny horses,
Okay.
let's take a moment to recap what we've learned today. We explored the world of miniature horses, from the perfectly proportioned Falabella
Yeah.
to the enigmatic Yonaguni horse, delving into their history,
Right.
unique characteristics, and evolving roles in human society.
We've also touched upon the importance of adaptability, the impact of selective breeding, and the urgent need for conservation efforts to protect these vulnerable populations.
It's been a fascinating journey so far.
It has.
But I think it's time to leave our listeners with a final thought-provoking question,
Okay.
one that will stay with them long after this episode ends.
Okay, I have one. As we move further into the 21st century, a world where horses are no longer primarily work animals, what does the future hold for these unique breeds? Will they continue to thrive as companions, therapy animals, and living testaments to our shared history?
Yeah, that really does make you think.
It does.
It's a complex question, isn't it?
Yeah.
With no easy answers.
Yeah, it really is. The future of these miniature breeds depends on so many factors,
Right.
conservation efforts,
Right.
breeding practices, societal values, even technological advancements.
It's like we're at a crossroads,
Yeah.
and the path we choose will determine the fate of these, amazing creatures.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Every choice we make, individually and collectively can
Yeah.
influence their future.
So what kind of future do we want to create for them? One where they're, relegated to petting zoos and novelty acts, or one where they continue to thrive
Yeah.
as valued members of our community, enriching our lives in countless ways?
Personally, I envision a future where, these miniature horses play even more significant roles in our lives.
Yeah.
Imagine miniature horse therapy sessions in parks.
I like that.
Tiny horses pulling carts of fresh produce at farmers markets.
Yeah.
Even miniature horse-drawn carriages giving tours of historical districts.
I love that vision.
Yeah.
It's a future where their unique qualities are celebrated and put to good use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But making that vision a reality requires action. We need to support responsible breeders, advocate for conservation efforts, and educate others about the importance of these breeds.
It's a challenge, but after learning so much about these amazing animals, I feel inspired to do my part.
And remember, you as a listener have a role to play too.
Oh, yeah.
Share what you've learned.
Right?
Support organizations dedicated to their well-being and spread the word about, these miniature marvels.
It's a reminder that even small actions can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to seek out more information and connect with, breeders and conservation organizations.
And of course, be sure to check out the 5 smallest horse in the world, 5 smallest horse breeds, video by Gideon Films Top 5
Yes.
on YouTube to see these adorable equines in action.
It's a visual treat and a great way to continue your exploration of these fascinating breeds.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of miniature horse breeds, let's remember that even though they're small in stature,
Yeah.
their impact on human history and our hearts is anything but tiny.
Well said. Their stories are a reminder of the incredible diversity of the animal kingdom and the importance of, our role in protecting it.
Until next time, keep those imaginations galloping. And remember, even the smallest creatures can leave giant hoofprints on our hearts.